Hello everyone, I am Third Mario Brother. Welcome back to Let's Play Sonic Lost World. In the last episode, we took on the fourth world, which was Frozen Factory. And in this episode, we're going to be moving on to Silent Forest, which seems like it's going to be a little less gimmicky than the last one. So anyway, let's start with Zone 1.
Sonic is more formidable than I anticipated.
Yes, he would make a powerful slave. Eggman taught us how to make robots.
So we'll make the Hedgehog a robot. Excellent plan, Master.
I'm sure you would have thought of it yourself, given time.
Time. Something Sonic is running out of.
Oh my, how terribly malevolent of you, two of the Deadly Six. Would I then refer to them as the Deadly Two, or would I don't know. Anyway, that's a little bit of a technicality and something probably stupid, and it doesn't seem like there's anything around that bit of the world, so let's just go ahead and go over here. Anyway, welcome to a swamp, evidently. We have a crocodile head that was jumping out at us, and we've got this guy right here, these little mushroom caps that send out those little shockwaves when they, bounce. Okay, so this world is drastically different from the last one. I have no idea how these two biomes happen to come into existence next to each other, but that is alright. Perhaps my Minecraft logic should be kicking in at about this time. Anyway, we've got some springs here, and we move on to this part of the level. And whoa, we are surrounded by spiders, and I'm going to assume that using the kick ability, which is something that I've neglected the use of so far, is going to help us out here. And, oh. Whoops. Right before this episode started, maybe I'll show it at the beginning or something. I accidentally talked to Omo Chow, and he apparently, gave me some missions to complete. I'm not entirely sure what the purpose of those missions is, but is there anything around here? It does not look at it. So let's go ahead and go into this flower that these butterfly friends opened up for us and move on to the next section of the level. But yeah, Omo Chow gave me a mission, and I have absolutely no idea what the purpose of this mission is. So, you know what I'm going to do here is go ahead and spin dash and jump over these, because I feel like these... Whoa! Accidentally jumped off to the side there. But I feel like these boosters here are intended to make you lose control over yourself and run into those spike balls. But I lost my rings anyway, so perhaps my strategy was a little bit of a failure. Anyway, we have one red ring out of 3 possible so far, so we're not doing the best run ever, but we can go ahead and take out these spider guys. And yeah, I assume if you attack them with a homing attack, they will just spin and block you like a Skulltula from the Legend of Zelda series. But anyway, let's go ahead and free our little butterfly friends. And these are kind of like this game's equivalent of flickies. I guess there already are animals running around that probably are flickies, but this is kind of this game's equivalent of flickies in Sonic 3D Blast, in that they unlock things for you in quite a similar manner. Anyway, moving on to the next part of the level, what do we have here? I always like to, because a lot of the game seems to take place on these, like, tubular things, I like to check the sides that you're not immediately thrown onto to see if there's anything that, you know, you might be missing if you don't. And we can go ahead and kick all these guys into oblivion, or fail and accidentally bounce there. But yeah, using the kick button is the same way that you bounce, if you're familiar with Sonic Adventure. Oh, did I miss that? Seriously? Oh, come on, dang it. I wanted to get that. Oh well, too late, I suppose. But yeah, if you're familiar with Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic could bounce in that game, and it helped him reach higher areas, and you could just kind of bounce indefinitely there. Here, you only have 3 bounces, as I found out. But yeah, apologies in earlier episodes for not using the bounce ability quite as much as I probably should have been, but I know about it now, and I know it's very easy to use, and so I'll probably be using it from now on, especially on enemies that the homing attack can't normally kill. But anyway, there goes Silent Forest Zone 1.
Something's not right.
Huh. Must have missed this one.
Sonic! It's a trap!
Tails, no! Those rotten, sneaky...
Tails acted for the greater good. Let's make sure his sacrifice isn't for nothing.
I'm supposed to be the fastest, but I was too slow to save my buddy.
Oh, that's actually kind of touching. Never fear, Sonic. Oh, here's the mission screen that I have no idea what this means. But anyway, never fear, Sonic. I am sure, absolutely, that we will in the future go ahead and save Tails. But for that, we're going to have to take on Silent Forest Zone 2, which looks like a big ol' staircase, so let's climb it.
Sigh. Everything seems so pointless.
Hey, what did you do with Tails?
What? Seriously? We captured you.
You wish. You grabbed my friend and I want him back.
Man, this day keeps getting lamer and lamer. Whatever. I gotta go tell the others the bad news. Giving bad news is actually the one thing I enjoy. I'll deal with you later, loser.
Oh boy, looks like the boss for this level is going to be the slightly more jerkish version of Eeyore. I can't wait to be fighting him. But anyway, yeah, let's go ahead and grab our first few rings and accidentally target that guy even though I didn't mean to, and move on with the level. Yeah, the first few seconds of a Sonic level, if there are enemies before there are rings, are always a little bit nerve-wracking. I described in a previous episode.
Sonic, maybe they won't. Does it really matter in the cosmic scheme of things? We're all gonna die eventually.
Jeez, this game does not have any sort of fear of getting dark sometimes. That was crazy. Seems kind of weird to me that they're talking about that kind of thing at all in a Sonic game. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, like I was saying, the first few seconds of a Sonic level without rings are always really nerve-wracking because you just feel like you're absolutely doomed to death. And can we get this? Yes, we can. Let's go ahead and parkour over here. Yeah, there we go, and we got 2 red rings already, and if that's any indication of this level's length, it's not going to be an especially long one, which I am okay with, because the past few videos have been a little bit lengthy, if I might say, and, oh, I thought a homing attack marker was going to appear for him, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and run up this way, and we got ourselves a purple wisp, which looks like a music note. So, tap the touchscreen where you want to jump and follow the music note, so I guess it was a music note, and I was spot on with that. So do I just tap all these? Okay. Seems easy enough, and Sonic just goes ahead and hops on over there, and there we go. We finished with that. Huh, that was kind of interesting. Were all these wisps in Sonic Colors originally, or are some of them new to this game, or what? Or am I just going to jump into that praying mantis enemy because I'm trying to put the stylus away? Yeah, I'm not a big fan of using the gamepad with my hands, so for that one, I attempted to put the stylus away, and it led to my downfall. And at first I thought that leaf thing in the background was a platform, but I'm not entirely sure. It looks like they are, though. Are they going to move, though? Yes, they are. They're going to bounce us up. Let's go ahead and try to get up here, because getting on the higher pathway generally seems like the good idea to do in Sonic games if you want to unlock secrets, or at least the one that's a little bit more out of the way, which, in most cases in this game so far, has been the higher pathway. So, let's go ahead and hop on over to our music notes. This is kind of interesting. It's sort of weird, though. I don't know. It seems like a little bit slow-moving, but there is one where you turn into, like, a giant black hole, which I actually failed to show off in an earlier level, but you turn into, like, a giant black hole and start sucking things up, and it's kind of interesting. But can I bounce on you and get myself up here? Can I do it? Ah, yes, I did, and there's the 4th red ring of the level. Dang, we're doing pretty alright with this one. Although I really shouldn't say that, because as we've seen in previous episodes, not a good idea. It tends to take all of your luck away. But hey, look at that. We got all the red rings, and now if we can just survive until there's a checkpoint, we'll be able to move onward. And I suppose the way that you're supposed to kill those giant bear things is that you hit the golden things that they shoot out you with your kick ability, and it'll kick it back into them. Yeah, the kick ability can not only defeat enemies fairly easily, but also kick stuff into other enemies, so you can kill more than one at once. So it's actually a really good ability, and I have no idea why I didn't start using it until just now, basically. But anyway, let's go ahead and run over all the top of this, and oh boy, all these statues are jumping out at us. No! It reminds me of, like, in Yoshi's Island, when all the chain chomps jump out at you, and I don't want this guy to see me, do I? Oh no! Uh-oh. Ooh, I hid behind his little owly friend to save myself. Can I hide behind this bush? Yeah, it looks like I can. Ah, this is clever. Sort of weird having a stealth segment in a Sonic game, but oh well. It works. And will he be able to see me as a music note? I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, let's just jump back here, because this seems like the safer place to go. But or we could just recharge our wisp thing and move onward. It doesn't look like the owl's looking at us while we're music notes, even though, I suppose if we're a music note, we're probably making a whole bunch of noise. But oh well, whatever. Did I... Great job! I just fell in a hole. That's okay, we still got all 5 of our red rings, so there's no harm, no foul there. Now, does this guy wake up? Doesn't look like it. Let's go ahead and move on and hope that we don't disturb his slumber further. Anyway, you go ahead and do that. And I will grab my music note. Ooh, almost got seen by him there. But anyway, go ahead and turn into this wisp once again, and we can bounce along our merry way. God, this is such a weird thing. It moves so slowly and strangely. I just wouldn't expect something like this from a Sonic game, you know? But hey, it seems to work, and we collected 500 rings and completed that. What are you doing? Oh no. Is there a way to change out of wisp form after you change into it? I don't know. I'll be right back, though. Okay, there we go. I just let the color power run out right here. And now I guess we're just going to have to walk slowly. So we stay behind this bush until the owl goes ahead and lets us go. And oh boy. Oh boy. Bounce faster, Sonic. Bounce as if your life depended on it, because it kind of does. Anyway, look away, Mr. Owl. I don't know how many licks it takes to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop, so you're going to have to ask somebody else. I'm sorry, but that's okay. We reached a checkpoint, and so now if we die, there won't be mega repercussions.
As a matter of fact, I've already pretty much given up on hope, happiness, success. Come to think of it, what am I still doing here? I should just crawl back into...
I am so sorry. Would you like a hug, friend? Anyway, let's go ahead and move on here, and I suppose we're probably nearing the end of the level at this point, considering we got all 5 of the, red rings, like, quite a bit of time ago.
I suppose we're gonna have to fight.
Oh, you suppose? I suppose is one of the things that sort of worked its way into my speech, and I say quite often. And I probably shouldn't mention that, because it just doesn't seem like a very smart thing to mention, one's speech pattern flaws, but oh well. Let's go ahead and jump, and you have to homing attack into these things, but I didn't get high enough that time, and they seem to be getting slowly lower and lower, so I don't know if you have to hit them while they're really high and then you'll be able to jump on his head or what, but it looks like he was the one piloting this giant owl this entire time, so how dare he. Let's go ahead and run around this way, and maybe if we do this, we can get a little bit closer to it a little bit earlier. Or, oh, maybe we're supposed to kick them into him. Yeah, use that kick ability that I've just learned. Well, it's not that I've just learned it. I already knew that it existed, but there we go. Go ahead and take him out and run over here and homing attack him. There we go. It seems like a fairly easy way to hurt him. But yeah, you just have to figure out that you have to knock those things into his head. And then everything after that becomes fairly easy. So wait for this to descend a little bit, and it doesn't look like these pose too much of a threat as like a weapon. So let's go ahead and do that, and as the fight goes on, it looks like it's going to take more to knock him off the owl. So let's go ahead and hit him with that one, and 2 to get him off this time. Go ahead and hit him with a homing attack, and there we go. Did we hit another one? Is that going to get him? Oh, it did. It hit the owl, but I'm not sure if it shook him at all. So I'm not sure if that actually had an effect on the boss, but they're moving faster now as well as requiring more. But for some reason that time, I guess maybe if it counted that first one, it took 2, but... there we go. We just completed Silent Forest Zone 2 and beat its boss. So yes, there we go. We get our little emblem on the level afterward, and it feels so good having one of those. I feel like I've actually accomplished something, and then I realize I'm just playing a video game about an anthropomorphic blue hedgehog that nobody really cares about. But hey, I feel good about myself anyway. Who are you to judge? Stop it. But yeah, here we go. It looks like we're going to be playing another tunnel level, so let's go ahead and get started with Silent Forest Zone 3.
Time for... how come he's not blue? You incompetent fools! I cannot trust you with the simplest of tasks. All right, we can work this to our advantage.
Somebody messed up royally, because we don't have Sonic.
We know!
Oh, gee, thanks for that insightful bit of advice there, dude. I don't know, he seems like a little bit of the outcast of the group, so I do feel for him on some level, but at the same time, he just tried to murder us, so I can't say my sympathies extend that far. Anyway, for some reason in Silent Forest, it looks like we're playing another little bit of an ice level, or at least the tunnel section of this level is going to be made of ice, which... okay, I guess we're returning to what happened last episode, and as we saw last episode, I am not the most competent ice skater in the world, so, bear with me as I try to get my bearings, but I feel like I've improved a little bit since the last episode, since I am now aware that ice skating is actually not mandatory. Like, you can not hold down the run button and you will stop ice skating, but for some reason, sometimes, like, it seems not to work out perfectly. Either way, let's go ahead and hit this bell and hit the spring to come over here and get ourselves a red ring. And wow. I accidentally did that really well. Holy cow. Either way, I feel like there's going to be something. Oh, no, this is just a common challenge of the level. So this spiky guy is going to block our way either way that we go. So can we homing attack him? Yes, we can. Just go ahead and homing attack him, not kick him for some reason. That didn't work. And we can move on over here and grab ourselves a checkpoint. And through here, we either have the choice of hitting one of these boosters and boosting straight into a ball, or going through muck, or we could just jump over the boosters, which is probably the wisest idea of them all. And avoiding these balls is actually really hard. Oh, geez. Yeah, there we go. Everybody knew that was coming, I'm sure. Either way, let's go ahead and hit this booster, run right past this ball, and move over this way. Yeah, the pipe splits off. I like these pipe designs. They're kind of fun. It's kind of weird how this entire game takes place on, like, either inner tubes like that or outer tubes where you're like running around the side of them, and for some reason I just totally forgot I was moving there and get to try again, but that's alright. We just hit a checkpoint right there, and we can go ahead and grab this wisp and move on fairly quickly by just aiming at this diamond and hitting A. So there we go. Yep, skip that little bit of the level right there, and let's go ahead and take out these caterpillars. And yeah, once again, caterpillars, their bodies will bounce around. Ooh, that was almost bad. Jeez, this ice skating stuff has my nerves just on edge. But, yeah, caterpillars, their bodies will bounce around if you don't properly dispose of them. And I forgot that I was ice skating there and just pirouetted right off the edge instead of jumping and having the ability to do a homing attack. So, that's absolutely wonderful. And yeah, that, wing thing that you see right there that just appeared, right past that checkpoint, that's actually, if you die enough times in a level, it's like the equivalent of bronze stars in Super Mario Galaxy 2. Where you hit it and it just plays through the level for you, which I think is kind of a silly thing to have in any game ever, but hey, it seems to be the trend these days, so let's go ahead and use this wisp and see if we can competently move over to this diamond. Does that look about right? Let's try it. Ah, yeah, there we go. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. Oh my god, that was awesome. Anyway, now we're running through this half pipe on our own without the assistance of a wisp, because Sonic just has that ability. He's that cool. Ah! Even though I think that's a pun that this game already made. But hey, I'm going to claim credit for it anyway because, hey, it's another cold stage, and I'm just cool like that. Make it twice. It's not even a joke anymore. Great job, Brian. Anyway, there goes Zone 3 of Silent Forest, and we can move on now to Zone 4. Alright, we have more zones to select in the 2P race, and we have not nearly enough animals to get into Zone 4 of Silent Forest. So you know what? I'm gonna go play through some old stages really quickly. Grab this life first, though, because dang, we are close to a game over. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go through the Silent Forest Circus, because these are actually really, really good for animals. Oh, this time we have a cannon. Once Sonic and Tails are in, touch the cannon again to fire. But the game's continuity seems to work fairly well, because we have got me not paying enough attention and falling off the edge immediately as a result. But we have got no Tails with us, so I guess we're just going to have to bear without him. And I find it easier, actually, now that I think about it, to just look at the TV and control the touchpad just, like, not while looking at it at all. So just go ahead and look at the TV, and you can take out plenty of balloons. And you are timed on these, which is something you have to worry about, and that is only visible on the gamepad, so you have to be wary of that. But it's not that big of a deal, because I believe there's a countdown timer when you get to like 5 or 10 seconds or something like that, so you will know when you're starting to run out of time. So don't worry about it too much, just be as quick as possible. Let's see if we can get this big one. There we go. I don't know if those give more animals or what, but we seem to have gotten them, and we seem to have done actually fairly well on this one. Before, I was just looking at the gamepad, but this time, looking at the big screen made things a little bit easier. So 432 animals, is that going to be enough to put us over the top? Not nearly. Alright, do we have any other circuses or circi available to us right now? Yes, right here, Frozen Factory Circus, and I wonder if this one's any different than the ones that we played before. Nope, this is just a standard trampoline one, so let's go. Alright, now I'm wondering if this one it'll be easier to look at the big screen. It seems like it just because there are more pixels to work with, so you can actually kind of see where Sonic is better. On the gamepad, it's really, really hard to keep track of him because there's so many bright flashes and so many animals flying around, and your screen is small to begin with, so it's pretty difficult. But if you're just looking at the TV, it's really not that bad because there's so much more just like screen real estate, I guess, if you'll bear with the metaphor, that you can use, and you can tell where he is, and oh my gosh, this is actually really easy, and it's actually pretty fun. So let's go ahead and bounce him. I wonder if the higher up balloons, just like the green and blue ones, give more than the red ones as far as animals go. I know those ones at the top definitely give more. I don't know how many more, but they certainly give some amount more. Let's see if we can get that big one. Nope. It seems too late. Anyway, there we go. 280 more animals, and it looks like we're going to need even more to move on to Zone 4 of Silent Forest. So, does that do it for our available circuses? No, it does not. We have another Frozen Factory circus, so let's go ahead and get this one as well. Ooh. For some reason, this time we have Tails, even though we don't actually have Tails in the game. But whatever, I'll take it. Okay. You want to give me a free ball game? That is okay by me. And Sonic, like, went all the way up the side of the screen there to the point where I couldn't even, like, move my hand fast enough all the way to the edge to get him. But I think I will be just alright with one ball if you would be so kind to just leave Tails out of this one game. I can't keep track of two, and whenever I try to keep track of two, I seem to lose both of mine a little bit more easily, just because, I don't know, I'm trying to do too many things at once. So I'm going to just let Tails fall off the edge there and see if we can get some height before we start trying to hit balloons here, because if you get your height first, I just feel like you have better control over what's going on. So let's hit all these balloons that, oh my gosh, and there's actually like a carnival in the background now that I'm paying attention for the first time. But, oh dang. Lost the ball on that one, and it looks like there's a whole ton of giant balloons up at the top, so if you can get your ball up there, you'll get a ton of animals. But, man, it has been a while since I've been to a good carnival. I went to one in British Columbia last May? And it was pretty fun, up in Vancouver, but... Oh, and here we have the seesaw thing again. Alright, there we go. We can go ahead and bounce our little friends here. Man, looking at the screen is so much, so much easier than just looking at the gamepad. But if you lose one character here, you're going to lose both, because it requires two to operate a seesaw, if you couldn't assume that. And I wonder if there's actual physics going on here, or if it's just you bounce higher every time you hit the seesaw, or do you have to hit the end to go higher? I really don't know. Either way, so long as you can get one of the characters up between these two lines, it seems like it'd be reasonably easy to rack up a whole ton of animals, but I couldn't see what was going on there even on the big screen, so whatever. But yeah, I've always wanted to go to some of the nation's bigger carnivals. Like, my friends always talk about, oh, I went on the biggest roller coaster in the United States, and I'm so jealous of that, because honestly, I absolutely love carnival rides. Fun fact about me that does not matter whatsoever, but I've never really been on anything too terribly interesting. Never been to Circus, to Six Flags, or to anything else of noteworthy importance. Not that my carnival-going habits are probably of noteworthy importance to anyone anyway, but there we go. We have indeed unlocked Silent Forest Zone 4. I was about to say Tropical Coast because it says Tropical Coast down there at the bottom, but that would be inaccurate because we already beat Tropical Coast quite a while ago. So anyway, let's move back through here quickly using the D-pad and start on Zone 4.
Look at him all, I'm so fast and stuff. Ugh, makes me sick. Time to knock him down a peg.
Jeez, okay, maybe I don't feel so bad for this guy because he's all depressed and stuff, but he's also really judgmental, so let's just go ahead and run into this Temple Mouth's head, and it is once again Legends of the Hidden Temple, and I can't remember the giant head's name. I know I'm a heathen for not a heathen, but I am a heathen for not knowing that, and I apologize. But let's go ahead and go up here, because once again, the upper route tends to hold more secrets, it seems, than the lower route. And why am I talking like this? Why? Because this is a mysterious and dangerous temple, and I wouldn't want to ruin the mood with an excited voice like this. I have no idea what I'm doing, guys. Please forgive me. Let's go ahead and kick that guy into that guy and be very non-specific about what we're doing so that we can get on top of this swamp-looking dude and grab a red ring. I knew there was going to be something up there. In a temple like this, your Legend of Zelda instincts just have to kick in. And once again, we found a secret area, but that time we just got a 1-up instead of a red ring. But
I want to beat him up. It won't make me happy, but to be fair, nothing makes me happy.
well, at least we played through that guy's voice clip. I will be right back, as this sent us back quite a way. Alright, and we just got the second red ring straight from Clunkamonk's mouth or whatever once again. And that's the name that I'm giving to those guys, Clunkamunk, because I can't think of anything good or creative. Can you bounce these things downward? No, you can't. I thought maybe just because they're like singular cubes that you'd be able to move those downward rather than the normal land, which you can't budge at all. But anyway, there's the second red ring. I don't know what I was talking about, that other red ring. I thought that was the second ring, but it was actually the first one. And man, I am just confused about everything in the entire world right now. Whoa, I thought that guy was going to crush me against the ceiling real quick for a second there. But it doesn't seem to be the case. So if we can go ahead and get up here, that would be awesome. And yes, we can go ahead and climb this staircase and get ourselves a bunch of free rings. Not going to bother collecting all of those because it doesn't seem that rings play too important a role in this game. And looks like we're going to want to jump over the middle here. Yep, and go ahead and hit that booster. And we have the same trap here again. It seems like that's kind of a weird trap where you just have to jump over the middle. And laying it 3 times in a row, Eggman or Deadly Six or the Lost Text by Nature or whatever put this, probably not the best way to go about arming a trap. Put the same thing 3 times in a row, because if they survive the first one, they might just survive the second too. But again, no professional dungeon designer here, so maybe I just don't know what I'm talking about. Either way, let's go ahead and kick this guy and kick that guy, and that doesn't seem like it's gonna work. So are we gonna be able to take him out at all? No, maybe not. So let's just go ahead and go over him and not have to deal with that spinning spiky ball down there. Not that it was much of a threat to begin with, I'm sure. But anyway, I like to play it absolutely safe. So let's go ahead and drill. And I'm starting to realize, yes, that these wisps are all much easier to use, to pilot rather, or to utilize while you're just using the gamepad rather than the control stick. So yeah, I'm slowly learning the ways, and I really like this. I'm sure it was a little bit more difficult in Sonic Colors to control some of these things than it is in this, because you didn't really have the gamepad in Sonic Colors, now did you? Anyway, let's go ahead and take that thing in the middle out, whatever that was. I don't know if it played any actual significant purpose. And are there any secrets around here? Doesn't look like it, so let's go ahead and jump, and jump, and jump. And this reminds me a little bit of another section in Super Mario Galaxy. I believe it was a water section where you could jump from floating water bit to floating water bit, and just jumping from Earth Mound to Earth Mound kind of reminds me of that. Or maybe I'm thinking of another thing in Super Mario Galaxy where you're actually drilling. Who knows how close these two actually are. The secret's up here, doesn't seem like it, so let's go ahead and move on. And this is actually kind of fun to maneuver now that I'm getting into it with the gamepad rather than the control stick. So yeah, playing the game properly does have quite the bearing on one's perception of it, and I hope you're listening, IGN. Anyway, that was a little bit of a low jab, so let's go ahead and continue on here. And I guess there just aren't going to be any secrets in any parts of these big Earth mounts, so I'll stop from now on, and I learned that at the very last possible second. Let's go ahead and put the stylus away and continue with the game. And yeah, I'm also learning to put the stylus away before I get far too into something to the point where I can't control the gamepad. I don't know why those words weren't coming to my mind, but yeah, sometimes before I would like not put the stylus away soon enough, and then I'd have to do it while I was playing. And it looks like we're gonna have to light up the world here, and go ahead and pull this one. Oh, and it turns it off and then back on, so it refreshes the light. All right. So I guess we only have light for a timed amount of time. And can we parkour on up here? Doesn't look like it. Or at least not very easily. And if something isn't easy, it's not something that I'm gonna do. That is the motto by which I live my life. I recommend that none of you do it because it leads to absolutely nothing of value. Anyway, there we go. Grab one more red ring. And can we kick this thing? Ooh, get me out of the way. Not into the way of that, though. Dang it. Yeah, actually, things being darker does make it a little bit more difficult, which I guess is the point. So, no, I didn't want to do that. Oh, well, looks like we accidentally took the shortcut here. I legitimately did not mean to hit that thing. I'm sorry, everybody who wanted to see that bit of the level, and I think I missed a red ring, too, because of that, but I guess it's not that big of a deal. Oh boy, certainly wouldn't want to take any of that away. I like how each of the Deadly Six has like a really distinct personality. I don't know if that's just a characteristic of Zeddy in general that Sega's implying, that each of them has like their own thing going on. I really don't know, but I'm gonna try to get over here and yeah, take a shortcut to that red ring. That was awesome. Anyway, running through the dark here, we've got Sonic version of Limbo, and let's go ahead and spin up here. I know you're supposed to get on that guy, but I am not patient enough for such frivolous activity when you can just jump over everything. And I assume there's a red ring over there, but I don't think I'm going to get it because I'm not sure how to get over there, and I don't want to risk experimentation, because experimentation is indeed deadly. Yep, that's right. You heard it here, folks. Science is bad for your health. Never, ever do any of it. Actually, that's not true. Science is, like, the coolest thing ever, and I am so reverent of science. But once again, facts about Third Mario Brother that nobody really wants to know. Can we get up here? Yes, we can. Is there anything of interest up here is the more pertinent question currently. I'm not sure, but there are traps everywhere, so it seems like there might be. Is that a game over? Oh, my God. That's a game over. No! Dang it. Lots of cutting in this episode, but we have 4 more lives, and I am feeling fresh, so I will be right back to that point of Silent Forest Zone 4. Okay, and here we go. We seem to be back to at least reasonably close to where we were before, with 4 red rings this time. Indeed, I went and took the liberty of getting the one that I missed the last time, so we can move on reasonably. And I don't think I'm going to get that 5th one up there still, because, I don't know, just something does not bode well about taking the initiative to do something that would actually probably benefit me. And that, again, is a life philosophy that you should probably not follow. But no, that red ring is non-essential, and I'm running a little bit low on lives again, if I'm to be completely honest. So
When I hurt your face, it'll make me smile. So in the end, I'll just be hurting myself. Cool.
And I'm sure that this character reflects the most deep inner problems of the employees over at Sega, except that's incredibly stupid. But anyway, beat those 2 guys, and geez, we get a whole boatload of rings if you're into that sort of thing, and I suppose you probably would be if you're into Sonic games. So anyway, let's go ahead and move over here, and we've got more owls.
Conflict is about to begin.
And the dude's making shadow clones. Oh god, here we go. So just go ahead and turn on the light, and you can tell exactly what you have to do. And I just bounced myself into a hole. That was absolutely pathetic, and absolutely the one thing that you're not supposed to do at this point. Those one-eyed bats that this guy makes his clones out of are kind of weird, though. But anyway, let's just go ahead and go over here, and we just hit him with a homing attack. So, simple enough, and he's destroying the world as we go. But that was it. That was kind of disappointing, honestly. Way easier than I thought a fight like that with evil clones would be. But hey, whatever. And I guess that there does it, with no extra cutscene for Silent Forest. So that'll also do it for this episode of Let's Play Sonic Lost World. So thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you guys next time when we ascend to the next world, Sky Road. Grab this life, because I'm low on them, because I'm pathetic. Anyway, thanks again, everybody, for watching, and I will see you guys next time.